I was just visiting the studio that's working on this game 2 days ago, Friday. And if there is one thing I can safely tell you guys is that the people working there, they love what they're working with. They're really, 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 really trying to make the best game they can make. They are all lovely and they're all so sweet and happy and welcoming. And I had such a great time hanging out with them. It was honestly amazing. So they were like so excited to talk about Sven. And it's like, I never seen anyone be so happy and excited to have such a boss around, you know? And they shared some stories and they talked about so many funny incidents and they say basically that Sven is what makes Larian Larian. That one day he was like, oh, I want to play a game like this and like that. And then he started looking around and he couldn't find a game like that. So he decided to make one. And that's basically how Larian started and how Larian has been, you know? They really make the games that they would like to play and that they're excited about making and playing. And that's basically why what they make is so good and they're always outdoing themselves. And I thought it was very sweet. It was very, very sweet. Now imagine having a leader like that, you know? And that energy is coming from the CEO of the company and not from anybody else. So when the CEO is so excited about something that they work and they build and what they're doing, how to not make everyone down the line also excited? And I thought that was really important. And I wish more companies were like that. I especially find it important nowadays, you know, especially with growing times, people trying to make anything they do just so they get the most money out of it. And people, I don't know, they get pressure so they can sell more copies, so they can, I don't know, they get pressure so they can do things that can get people to give them money. And eventually we will end up with so many exploitative games. And I mean, let's be honest, right? A lot of gamers, like myself, we are pretty lonely people. And sometimes we just wanna, you know, escape and get a little bit of joy from another world when the real world has been slacking. And I would say that's a vulnerable person. And there are some systems, especially of monetization of games out there, that are pretty exploitative of vulnerable people. And there's nothing that can help them. And knowing all this reality and knowing how, you know, this kind of game is growing each time more, is still seeing people that are creating something for the passion of creating something, are creating something because when they tried to play that game, it just wasn't there, so let's just make it. It just fills me with hope, especially when that I can take his example as somebody that has been successful because he has built so many amazing games with his team and his group, and he has found so many passionate people that, from what I could see, they have a pretty healthy work environment. You're pretty happy to be there, you know? I couldn't be happier. But it goes beyond just giving me happiness. It gives me hope. That hopefully we get more games that people want to make them for the sake of making something good, something fun, something exciting, something that they wish they could play, but it's just not there, instead of just making something to make money. Every single person I spoke with and I talked with, they were incredibly happy to have me there. Like, I was there and I was literally meeting my heroes. And a lot of times when you play video games, meeting your heroes don't go too well. I mean, look at some other gaming companies out there, you know, when you see overworked people, underpaid people, and all this, right? And then when I actually got to meet my heroes were happy. And they were not only happy, but they were so excited to meet me too. Like, I went after, you know, the studio closed and all, I went for dinner with some of them, and we were just literally just hanging out, eating and talking about games and talking about features. And I would mention something that I saw in Divinity that I really liked, and then they would say, "Oh yeah, I built that, and it was so fun and so cool," and it felt like I was hanging out with friends. And I was just treated so well by every single person. Every single person. Even even like the highest level to the lowest level, everyone was so incredibly kind and so incredibly amazing. And not only to me, but to each other too, you know? They would also talk and share stories of things that happens in the studio and in making the games, and they would be excited to talk with one another. It's like literally a bunch of people that leave behind, you know, office, you know, things that are strict and annoying, but they're just working out together, and everyone recognizes the importance of everyone's work in there. Like, it was fascinating. I've seen the director of the studio talk about how much he admires the work of the other people that works with him, that do other things. Like, and not only him, like everyone would join along and say, "Oh yeah, what that person makes is like absolutely amazing. Sometimes it's nice to just stand behind your desk and watch them do their thing, because like they do it so well." And they were legit so excited to talk about the work of people that work with them, doing what they do. And I feel like witnessing that made sense why I thought the Divinity Original Sin 2 was a masterpiece. Like, the music was good, the story was good, the combat was great, everything about that game was great. But then when you have a team of people that do not only want to make something great because they love it, but also they admire each other's work so much, that's what you get, right? That's the only way to get something like this. And it was just mind-blowing awesome to see that happen, that magic right in front of my eyes. Because especially after all the horror stories I've heard of the video game industry, Larian was not like that. And I don't think it's in them to be like that. It was truly, truly awesome. You know how there is a saying that you should be careful when you meet your heroes? That was not the case. I got to meet my heroes and like what they do even more, because they were so freaking awesome.